Have you ever wondered why, in a world buzzing with connections, some people still walk alone? What if the absence of friends doesn't reflect your flaws, but rather reveals something profound about your values? And what if your quiet nature isn't a barrier, but a hidden strength waiting to be refined by the wisdom of the Stoics? When asked about his lack of friends, a Stoic man once offered a striking analogy. He compared true friendship to a diamond, rare, precious, and often surrounded by imitations. He explained that after a few painful misjudgments, it becomes tempting to believe all friendships are illusions, just clever counterfeits. Building on this thought, another voice added, "Genuine friends are like buried treasure, hard to find, but worth everything once discovered." But here's a question that lingers for many. What does it really mean when you find yourself constantly alone, especially in a world that seems to be bursting with social circles, smiling faces, and endless friend requests? Does the absence of friends point to something deeper, something rooted in your identity, your nature, or perhaps your choices? Today, we'll journey into this delicate and often unspoken topic, unpacking why some people struggle to form lasting friendships and how society's changing social dynamics play a role in that. But let's be clear from the start. Not having a long list of friends doesn't mean you're broken. Sometimes it's not about how many people are around you. It's about finding the one that truly sees you. Like a miner who searches endlessly for that one brilliant gem, your path may be longer, but the reward just as real. So stay with me. We're going to explore this through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, diving into the root causes, breaking through the noise, and most importantly, uncovering practical Stoic tools to help you forge authentic, lasting bonds. Just as a sculptor slowly chisels away at stone to reveal the art beneath, you too can shape your social world, cutting through the noise, carving out connections that endure. And that journey begins within, especially for those who are shy, introverted, or quietly reflective. We ended the last part reflecting on the quiet power of introversion and how Stoicism invites us to see our natural traits not as weaknesses, but as strengths. Now let's look deeper through that same Stoic lens. In the philosophy of Stoicism, shyness and introversion are not shadows to escape, but tools to sharpen. It's not about fixing yourself. It's about seeing these traits clearly, understanding how they shape your approach to the world, and using them to navigate the complex maze of human relationships. 2. Trust issues. As you walk the winding path of friendship, one obstacle often towers above the rest: trust. Trust issues can feel like walking a tightrope. On one side, your desire to connect. On the other, the fear of being hurt. You're constantly balancing your own values with the unpredictable nature of others. Trust isn't something handed out like samples at a store. It's built, step by step, moment by moment. The Stoic approach begins with self-awareness. Ask yourself, what do I value? What triggers my fears? Knowing yourself is like carrying a compass in the wilderness. It helps you decide wisely when to let someone in and when to walk away. Think of a tree. It stands strong not because it resists the wind, but because its roots run deep. Likewise, when you know your values, your personal roots, you gain stability in relationships, no matter how others may change, and they will change. People, like seasons, shift. Someone you trust today may let you down tomorrow. But that doesn't mean you should become cold or shut off from the world. It simply means you accept the reality of change and respond with balance. If someone betrays your trust, don't crumble. See it as a lesson, a sharpening of your discernment. And no, this doesn't mean closing your heart. It means guarding it with wisdom. Communication becomes your shield and your bridge. When doubt creeps in, don't stay silent. Speak up. Express your feelings with honesty. Like flicking on a light in a dark room, truth can reveal what fear tries to hide. But remember, communication isn't just about talking. It's about listening, too. Friendship is a dance, and its rhythm is found in the give and take of conversation. When you listen deeply, you invite depth into your relationships. Build friendships where trust isn't an afterthought. It's the foundation. 3. Lack of social opportunities. Sometimes it's not fear or mistrust that isolates us. It's simply a lack of genuine opportunities. Modern life moves fast. We scroll endlessly, connect virtually, but often forget to show up in the real world. Our phones buzz with messages, yet our souls still long for face-to-face connection. So how do you break that pattern? Start small. Volunteer in your community. Help out at a shelter, plant trees in a park, or sort books at a local library. These aren't just acts of service, they're doors to connection. Every shared task is a thread weaving you into a greater social fabric. And here's something powerful. In those moments of giving, you live out a core Stoic virtue, contributing to the common good. In doing so, you'll often find others walking the same path. Also, don't overlook the magic of shared passions. Whether it's a workshop, a local event, or an online meetup around your interests, these spaces can feel like stepping into a room where everyone speaks your language. Here, conversations don't feel forced. They flow naturally. Whether you're talking about your favorite book, your profession, or a creative hobby, these shared passions create common ground. And from that ground, friendships grow. In the last part, we explored how shared passions and community engagement can open new doors to connection. Now, let's step even further into nature itself, as a place where friendships can quietly, beautifully bloom. 4. The great outdoors, your social canvas. Sometimes the most genuine conversations don't happen in noisy cafes or crowded events. They happen on a hiking trail, beneath a canopy of trees, or during a quiet group yoga session at sunrise. Activities like hiking, biking, or even a simple walk in the park aren't just for fitness. They're powerful social bridges. In the embrace of nature, stripped of pretenses, people open up. Conversations flow with the same ease as a gentle breeze through tall grass. It's in these moments, sweating side by side on a trail or pausing together to admire a sunset, that connection blooms. These are the moments where walls drop and authenticity takes root. While you're out there, take a breath and practice gratitude. Gratitude not only for the fresh air and open sky, but for the presence of those sharing that moment with you. You may not be surrounded by a crowd, but even one true companion can add warmth and color to your life. Remember, it's not about having dozens of friends. It's about cherishing the few whose presence truly matters. Rooted in Stoic simplicity and sincerity, this approach turns the pursuit of friendship from a stressful task into a peaceful, fulfilling journey. 5. Lack of social skills. Still, let's be honest. Friendships don't just fall into your lap. They take effort, intentionality, and a skill set many people quietly struggle with: social skills. In the fast pace of modern life, learning how to build and maintain relationships is often overlooked. But for those who feel unsure or awkward, in social settings, there is hope, and it starts with small, simple steps. As Marcus Aurelius once urged, love those whom fate brings into your life. It's a quiet encouragement to lean into opportunities, no matter how small. So start with what feels doable. Smile at a stranger, strike up a short chat at the coffee shop, join a club, attend a meetup, or join an online group centered around your interests. These small acts build your comfort, like watering a seed that slowly grows into a thriving plant. A vital part of building social skills is learning to listen, not just hear, but truly listen with intent and empathy. In a world obsessed with speaking, being someone who listens deeply is a rare and powerful gift. Ask questions, not to reply quickly, but to understand the other person's story. Be curious, not performative. When you stop trying to impress and start trying to connect, you'll find people opening up in ways you never expected. And yes, some interactions will be awkward. Some may fade out. That's normal. Not every conversation leads to a lifelong bond, but each one is a meaningful step forward. Rejection? It's not a verdict on your worth. It's just part of the rhythm of human interaction. Through every encounter, whether it clicks or doesn't, you're learning, growing, and becoming more graceful in navigating the rich tapestry of relationships. At the end of the day, your value isn't measured by the number of friends you have, but by the depth of the connections you nurture. 6. Changing circumstances. Sometimes, though, it's not social skills or opportunity that limit our connections. It's the quiet shift of life itself. Previously, we explored how changing circumstances can quietly shift our friendships, often without us realizing. Now let's look at what happens when we take those relationships for granted and how we can begin to nurture them again. 6. Rebuilding what we overlooked. In the rush of pursuing success, career goals, personal growth, material achievements, it's easy to overlook the quiet companions who have been there all along. The friends who never asked for much. The ones who cheered us on from the shadows. And suddenly one day, we look around and something's missing. We filled the shelves of our lives with accomplishments, but the space where connection should be feels strangely empty. Rebuilding or nurturing friendships isn't about grand gestures or dramatic reunions. It's more like tending a garden, a little water, a little sun, a little time. It's about the small, consistent acts. Sending a message to check in, showing up when it matters, offering a listening ear in difficult moments. True friendships, like mighty trees, don't sprout overnight. They grow roots, deep, invisible, and strong. The parable of the boy and the apple tree reminds us of this. The boy kept returning to the tree only when he needed something. He never stayed to nurture it, to appreciate it. And yet the tree gave and gave and gave. But we are not bound to repeat that story. Be the one who nurtures, not only receives. Be the one who remembers the quiet friend, not just when you need shade, but when the sky is clear too. It's this consistent attention that keeps a relationship alive. 7. Shifting priorities and growth. Life doesn't stand still. We evolve. Our days get filled with meetings, deadlines, family responsibilities, and personal ambitions. In this ever-changing rhythm, it's natural for friendships to shift, some fading, some deepening, and others just beginning. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in both ancient wisdom and modern relevance, teaches us to embrace this flow, not fight it. Think of your life as a river. Sometimes you're navigating fierce rapids, chasing goals, growing fast. Other times you float through calm waters, enjoying peace and reflection. Along the way, the people around you may change, and that's okay. This doesn't mean failure. It means you're alive, growing, transforming. In these moments, Stoicism offers clear guidance. Focus on depth, not breadth. It's not about having a crowded room. It's about having the right few people by your side. One meaningful conversation is worth more than 100 empty exchanges. This approach isn't about cutting people off. It's about honoring your time and theirs. It's about placing your energy where it creates something real. And here's the beauty. As your priorities shift, so might your connections. Some friends may drift away, but others will come into your life, aligned with your new values and direction. It's not loss, it's transformation. Embrace this evolution with calm and clarity. Every person who crosses your path, whether they stay for a season or a lifetime, brings something unique to the story you're writing. Stay present. Let your connections reflect not just who you were, but who you are becoming. Previously, we reflected on the role of mental well-being, how inner peace isn't a luxury, but a foundation. Now let's move from reflection to action and explore practical ways to apply Stoic wisdom in our everyday lives. 7. Practical Stoicism. Bridges, not walls. Let's be real. Stoicism isn't just about quoting Marcus Aurelius while sipping a latte in a quiet cafe. It's about practice. It's about showing up, calm, centered, and clear, even in life's chaos. We often build walls instead of bridges, distancing ourselves from others when what we really crave is connection. But the Stoic path teaches us how to begin dismantling those walls, brick by brick. It starts with mindfulness. And no, mindfulness isn't just a trend or a buzzword. It's the practice of being truly present in a moment. In today's noisy world, where attention is currency, being present is a rare and powerful gift. When you give someone your full focus, you're saying, I see you, I hear you, you matter. And that is the real currency of friendship. Even a simple habit like meditation, just 10 minutes a day, can anchor you. It's not about becoming a monk. It's about managing your mind in a demanding world. That small investment signals to others that you value calm over chaos, clarity over confusion. You see, tranquility isn't about escaping to a quiet island. It's about finding stillness in the middle of a storm. And life, as we know, doesn't run short of storms. Friends aren't just for sunny days. They're the shelters we turn to when the wind howls and the skies grow dark. And by cultivating inner calm, you become that shelter for others too. Stoicism teaches us that this tranquility is not some mythical state. It's real. It's attainable. Through self-reflection, discipline, and emotional awareness, we learn to respond, not react, to feel deeply, but stay grounded. And when you become a person who can hold steady amidst chaos, people naturally gravitate toward you. Because your presence feels like peace, by nurturing your own mental stability, you're not only caring for yourself, you're creating fertile ground for meaningful friendships to take root. 8. Lifestyle choices. Carving space for connection. Let's face it, modern life moves fast, too fast. Between deadlines, meetings, errands, and endless notifications, it's easy to find yourself surrounded by noise. But dining alone, it's not just about being busy, it's about what you're busy with. Stoicism encourages us to pause and examine our daily choices. Are they aligned with what truly matters? Are we chasing tasks or meaning? Picture your day as a block of marble, and your decisions? They're the sculptor's tools. Each choice shapes your time, your energy, your relationships. You don't need to stretch the day longer, you need to carve it more wisely. Instead of trying to fit in more, try choosing better. Choose to spend time with those whose values echo your own. Choose depth over quantity. One heartfelt conversation with someone who understands you is worth more than 10 surface-level chats. The Stoic way isn't about balance in the typical sense, it's about alignment. Aligning your time with your values so that your friendships, work, and passions aren't at war with each other, but working in harmony. Imagine your life as a mosaic. Each tile represents something important: work, rest, growth, friendship. The goal isn't to make every tile the same size. The goal is to place them intentionally, so the final picture reflects a life well lived. In the last section, we reflected on the importance of lifestyle choices and how carving time with intention can shape richer, more meaningful relationships. Now let's look at something equally essential: the differences in interests that often either divide or deepen our connections. 9. Embracing different interests, from discord to harmony. Differences in interests don't have to be walls. They can be bridges. Imagine a group of musicians, each playing a different note. At first, it might sound like noise, but when played with harmony and intention, those notes form a melody, a beautiful, unexpected symphony. Friendships can be like that. Let's say you're a die-hard fan of rock music, while your coworker swears by classical symphonies. On the surface, there's a clear gap. But what if that difference is actually an invitation? A path to learn, to grow, to connect? Stoicism gently nudges us. Don't resist the discord. Find the harmony in it. When we surround ourselves only with people who mirror our own preferences, we end up building echo chambers. Safe? Maybe, but limited. The Stoic path invites us to explore the diversity of life, not just in ideas, but in relationships. There's a popular phrase, variety is the spice of life. And Stoicism, far from being rigid, actually celebrates this variety. Every person we meet carries a universe of stories, skills, and passions we've never encountered. Why not be curious? Suppose you're passionate about gaming and your neighbor loves gardening. You don't have to fake an interest in flower pots, but what if you ask them, what's your favorite plant and why? You'd be surprised how quickly a wall turns into a window. You show genuine curiosity. They feel seen. And just like that, a thread is woven between two different worlds. That's how friendships deepen, not through identical interests, but through mutual respect, shared emotions, and a willingness to step into someone else's world for a moment. Stoicism teaches us to look for common values beneath uncommon hobbies. Joy, dedication, curiosity, these are universal. Whether you're a sports fanatic or a bookworm, there's a deeper connection waiting to be discovered in the why behind what we love. In the dance of friendship, Stoicism urges us to lead not with rigid preference, but with an open heart and open mind. Friendships aren't about clones. They're about co-creation. Two different people growing in appreciation together. So remember, the strength of a friendship isn't measured by how much you have in common, but by how much you're willing to grow from your differences. Final thoughts and community. Engagement. And here's one final note to leave you with. Stoicism isn't about hiding emotions behind a stone face. It's about understanding your emotions and channeling them with wisdom. Be open to seeking friendships that resonate with your soul, not just your calendar. If this discussion brought you insight, give it a thumbs up. It helps us share ancient wisdom with more people searching for meaning in today's world. If you're new here, subscribe and tap the notification bell so you won't miss future lessons rooted in timeless Stoic thought. And we'd love to hear from you. How do you navigate the journey of friendship? Are you an introvert who treasures quiet connection, or an extrovert who finds energy in the crowd? Or maybe, like many, you're an ambivert, walking the middle path. Even a simple comment like, "I'm an introvert," or "I'm learning to connect," adds value to this space. Your experience matters. Until next time, thank you deeply for watching. Choose a video on the screen now to continue your journey through the wisdom of Stoicism. And remember, stay stoic, stay open-hearted, and keep building those meaningful connections.